Preschools have the flexibility to extend their services beyond the standard operating hours based on factors such as parental demand and the availability of resources.
Extending preschool hours in Singapore. Let's talk about it.
So, my 2 cents is just no.
Hello and welcome back to Dear Digital Reader Podcast episode 4. Today's topic is, should preschool in Singapore extend operating hours? I'm sure everyone by now should have seen the recent news relating to the early childhood sector in Singapore. I'll insert the video here.
Preschools providing full-day services are required to operate from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on weekdays. Preschools have the flexibility to extend their services beyond the standard operating hours based on factors such as parental demand and the availability of resources such as manpower.
And I think this is something that many preschool teachers and also parents might have thought about. That leads to some of the preschool educators coming out and posting their views on this matter. I'll insert the clips here.
Longer hours doesn't magically mean better care for the children. It means tired children and even more tired educators. This isn't a complaint but a cry for awareness. Supporting parents should not come at the cost of the children and the educators.
Here's my 2 cents about extending preschool hours. So, my 2 cents is just no.
Recently, Member of Parliament Gerard suggested that there should be at least one preschool in every HDB estate that offers childcare services beyond the standard operating hours of 7 p.m. The idea behind this is to support working parents who may struggle to pick up their children before preschool close. He also pointed out something important. While preschool to consider extending their operating hours, this is usually a business decision made by the preschool operators themselves. Yet, another key issue he mentioned is something many people in the early childhood sector already know: manpower constraint. Because at the end of the day, preschool teachers are also people with their own families, their own social life. Many educators are parents too. After a full day of work, they also need to go home, spend time with their families, or even pick up their own children. My thoughts as a former preschool teacher? Listening to this discussion really reminded me of my time working in the sector. Yes, I did stay back a few times as some parents were late to fetch the child up. And this also leads to having the parents to pay a certain amount of late fee. From the parents' perspective, yes, the request actually makes sense. Many parents in Singapore work long hours and sometimes work schedules are unpredictable. Having childcare services that extend beyond 7 p.m. could really help families manage their work and parenting responsibilities. But at the same time, from the teacher's perspective, this is also a very complex issue. A typical preschool teacher's day doesn't just end when the children leave. There is lesson planning, preparing of materials, writing observations, sometimes meetings, and all these things often happens after classroom hours. So, if operating hours extend even later, it could mean longer working hours for teachers, unless more manpower is hired. And that brings us back to the issue that MOS though mentioned, manpower shortages in the early childhood sector. Now, the bigger question. I think this conversation raised a bigger question. How can we support both working parents and preschool educators at the same time? Because both sides have real needs. Parents need reliable childcare support, but educators also need sustainable working conditions. And if the sector already struggles with manpower, extending operating hours without enough support to make the workload even heavier for teachers. Am I right? Final thoughts. I think discussions like this are important because they highlight how interconnected the early childhood sector is with the realities of family life and work culture in Singapore. Preschool education is not just about children. It also involves teachers, families, and the system that supports them. And finding a balance that works for everyone is not always easy. you so much for tuning into Dear Teacher Carina podcast episode 4. If you are a preschool teacher or a parent, do comment below your thoughts on this, as I would love to know your reaction on this. Do you think preschool should extend their operating hours? If you enjoyed today's podcast, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to me. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye!